Welcome back, Bears fans, to another video on the island. I appreciate you tuning in. I filmed a video only a couple hours ago with my initial reaction to Andy Dalton. Still extremely disappointed and shocked that that's the route they went. I just can't understand how, as a general manager, your job is on the line and you dangle Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson out in front of our face. And, for all the teams, for all the people saying, or I doubt anyone's defending Pace at this point. I haven't seen it, but I've seen people saying, well, like the Seahawks were not going to trade Russell Wilson. Okay, that doesn't mean you go pay Andy Dalton $13 million at max value because they said no right now. You still have almost a month till the draft. There's no excuse. It's absolutely mind-boggling. I was trying to get on here to give my calm down reaction to this, which clearly I'm still not in a calm mindset, because just thinking about it, it's absolutely pathetic. I mean, no matter what way you go, if Seattle doesn't want to trade him right now, wait it out. There's no one else on the market that's suitable, that's going to make you better right now other than those two. Significantly better, at least. Wait, look over at Deshaun Watson. Even if Russell Wilson can't go, you still have another perennial Pro Bowl, all-pro quarterback who has made it clear that he does not want to be in Houston. And if anyone's going to give us a deal on a franchise quarterback, it's going to be Houston. I mean, they did it with Laramie Tunsil. They gave up 2 first-round picks. That's why Miami's the top 3 pick this year. And you did it with DeAndre Hopkins, which that one you just can't even wrap your head around. I mean, they're still getting laughed at. That's like Mitchell Trubisky-esque. And, I mean, shit, if there's one team we're going to do a deal with, why don't we do it with the other version of the Chicago Bears, except in the AFC, who's the Houston Texans. But there's no reason to go out and sign this quarterback right now. What are you think that's going to tell Allen Robinson that we want to win right now? No, there's damn near no chance he signs his tender now. He didn't want to sign it before. He doesn't have his money. We didn't give him a long-term deal. And he didn't bring him a quarterback who would make him want to stay even on that 1-year deal. You brought in Andy Dalton, who is a backup, and you brought him to compete with another backup. Sorry, my shit's falling, but it doesn't make any sense on any level. And now you just get the news that the Bears just signed Ifedi, which it's just like the Andy Dalton trade, or the Andy Dalton signing. You're cutting a corner. You're signing a cheaper version. And you know what happens when you try to cut a corner and get someone for a bargain? You lose. You're not a good team. Obviously, there's times where you can sign a guy and don't expect him to be much, and then he pops off. Then you got to sign him the next year. No, the Bears signed him, I'm assuming, expectingly to be competing for the starting job with Foles, who was making $6 million a year this year, and we're on the books for him next year too. So you're gonna have a quarterback competition between 2 quarterbacks that takes up $20 million of your cap space, instead of actually trading for a franchise quarterback who would take up $28 million. It's just pathetic. And then you add on that with Ifedi. Ifedi is not a starting right tackle in this league. Is he a bridge right tackle? Sure, for a team that's not trying to win, but for a team who's trying to for people who are trying to save their job, you wouldn't think bringing in a guy who you brought in on a 1-year deal last year, I can't even talk, to be a bridge right tackle. Now you're signing him to another 1-year deal. If you don't believe in him, why are you giving this? I mean, $5 million for a backup right tackle, when this right tackle class, guys, I'm going to be coming out with a mock draft, but this is a deep right tackle class, especially if you want a backup. I mean, there's a bunch of developmental guys you could take in later rounds, but no, the Bears want $5 million a year for a right tackle who is not even in the, I would say, maybe top 28, maybe top 25, but not anywhere near the top half of the league. And so I just saw that news too, and I just had to get on here and just complain a little bit about this pathetically run franchise from the top down. It's just fucking pathetic. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to cuss. I know I may have some kids watching, but it is what it is. It's absolutely atrocious, and it's disrespectful to us fans. I mean, we root for this team, we cheer for this team, We follow this team year-round only to be let down constantly by this ownership. Because if you haven't watched my last video, go check it out. But I touched on the fact that, they're going to be hiring the next GM and the next head coach. So it's like, we can really blame Nagy and Pace, but it's really at the top. I mean, they're going to be hiring someone else who probably is going to make dumbass decisions until they accidentally get it right. Hopefully they're not in charge that long to be making decisions over the next 25 years. They showed they can't get this shit right. It's been 34 years since our last Super Bowl. We had Lovie Smith, and we chose to let him go at 10-6. But you know what? Let's bring in Mark Trestman, who's in the Canadian fucking Football League. Makes no sense. And I think it was Windy City District talking about it, but you bring in Mike Glennon, that's your QB answer. But then you draft Mitchell Trubisky, and then 4 weeks into the season, you shit the bed, and you throw in Mitchell Trubisky. You can't develop him, so you bring in Andy Dalton. What? And then before that, you bring in Nick Foles, who, given was a Super Bowl champion, but he's not a fucking starter in the slate for 16 games, and everybody knows it. It's mind-boggling and painful to watch this franchise just get constantly run into the ground with the beautiful tradition that it used to have. At this point, guys, we are the Cleveland Browns. We're fucking up draft picks. We can't pick a quarterback. Our defense is declining. Our offensive line isn't that great. I mean, it's good. It had a good back half of the season, but, I mean, you saw it against New Orleans. You saw it against Green Bay. It just didn't work. It wasn't enough. And that's the thing. We can't be settling for less, just like Andy Dalton. We wanted Wilson, we wanted Watson, and they settled. They're talking about Trent Williams. They signed Ifedi. Okay, it's insane. They're like, oh, we're trying to make a push for the Super Bowl. Y'all can't even get in. You can't even win your division. Okay? The Packers kick your ass every fucking year. And you're going to sit and look at us in the face, and for some reason we come back. Only because our love of the franchise. And it's just, guys, I can't. I don't know how much longer I can do this. Obviously, I'm a Bears fan for life, but, I mean, I'm going to have a heart attack eventually if I see one more thing pop up about us signing freaking, I don't even know, an undrafted free agent to a 3-year, $21 million deal. That's the route we're on right now. It's just pathetic. Like, oh, my God. And guys, just realize it's probably going to be a really tough year. If you have hope, I don't know what this franchise has done over the past 2.5 years to give you that hope, ever since Vic Fangio left, but really check yourself to ask yourself, why do I have faith in these people? But until next time, try to drink a beer, smoke a bowl, do something, but until then, deuces, y'all.